What's happening? Seriously, what's happening? We're going live right now. What is happening, guys? This is way too early. This is 2 minutes early. What's happening? Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I pressed the on air, and I guess I'm on air. This is happening. Welcome back to yet another Home Arcade podcast. What's going on, everyone? Today, we're going to be talking about CES 2022. And I guess we're doing the show early. Yeah, I guess the show's going early. That's what's happening now. I'm just realizing I'm dealing with the idea that the show is happening right now. So we got a couple call-ins that we're going to go through. Let's see. We're going to... Oh, more have even come in. We're going to go through... I want to know your thoughts on CES 2022. How did Arcade1up do? And I got a lot of people with a lot of opinions coming in, which is really good because I want to really get a good gauge of how this community is reacting to all of the different announcements. So that's the main topic for tonight. If you're here with us live in the live chat, I definitely want to hear from you. We're going to go through each cab. We're going to talk about it. But don't forget, this is a double feature night. So tonight we're going to do this podcast for about an hour long. And then we're going to jump over to another show right here on this channel. It should send you right to it. Well, we have a couple guests, and we're going to get their live opinion and reactions of, the CES 2022. That's right, How to Bachelor. Let's keep it clean. Thank you for talking about that. So we're going to jump right in over here, and I want to talk a little bit about our sponsor for this month. It's Old School Gaming Magazine. I want to talk about this and exactly how to get involved in this. So what I need from everyone in the audience is, at minimum, go over to oldschoolgamer.com. The link is in the description. Don't forget to do that. Like, even right now, if you're watching live, click that link, open it up in a new tab so you don't forget. There's a free digital version that you can get. There's 6 issues of this magazine every year that you have free access to. So it's free, so check that out. And that's $0 a month. But there's also a digital plus version that's $10 a year. But if you use the coupon code KITS, you will save $5 for that first year. It's only $5 for the digital plus. That's going to give you the digital version, but you get all the extra pages. Now, here's the real deal. $25 a month, or I'm sorry, $25 for a whole year will get you access to the printed version, and that's what I recommend. It's like the Nintendo Power, right? It's a magazine that you have printed, physical copy in your hand. You can collect all of these. You can get a little magazine rack in your home arcade. And every single time these issues come out, you have yet another magazine to go through. So oldschoolgamer.com, check him out. He's got a lot of different magazines here. This is the current issue, and they're all theme-based. It's talking about arcade games. It's talking about console games. We got iArcade talking about in here. And this theme, for this January edition, is the beat games, the instrument games. And so there's a lot of good articles in there you gotta check out. oldschoolgamingmagazine.com. Okay, check it out. All right, so we're gonna jump right in. What do you guys think so far? I'm going to put a poll out there for are you gonna get Centipede? So we'll start collecting information on are you gonna get Centipede. We're gonna take a look at this Centipede cabinet, and I'm on the fence on this. Seriously, I have a Tempest cabinet that I have not yet unpacked or opened. So here it is. I bought a Tempest cabinet out of discount from Kohl's, and I got all this Kohl's cash, and that was a pretty good deal. And I heard B Kong saying that he was also in the same situation where he has that Tempest cabinet, but he hasn't opened it up. But I also have the Asteroid Centipede Deluxe from 2018 right behind me. But this one is really cool. The live feature for Centipede is not really pulling me in. I think these older games, I'm not going to be any good at competing on the leaderboard. Maybe if they make like a small group so the community can get together and you have subgroups and we're competing, but I don't think I'm going to get first place. And maybe just being able to have bragging rights that you're in the top 100 or something would be interesting. But when you take a look at the cabinet, they did do a lot of good things to it, like the volcano buttons that are on there. You have all the different controls for it. And Centipede was Centipede was something that they had in low stock in 2018, and tons of people have joined the community of home arcade since then, and there's no way they'll ever get their hands on a Centipede unless it's a re-release. So out of all of the cabinets that they released for the CES, this one is probably the most interesting because, again, it's like you can go and get a Mortal Kombat. If you want to get some form of Pac-Man, they're available. This Centipede is not the Centipede form factor, at least, but the games that are on it are available in other, like the Tempest cabinet. And so here's the video that's on it. And I think this is going to appeal to some people. It's just not going to appeal to me, right? And I want to get your thoughts in it. And, I'm looking at the chat right now, and we have... The vote is, I'll go ahead and end it because it looks like we have some pretty leaning results on it, and it's 81% are no on this new Centipede cabinet. Now, it does look pretty good, if you're, those volcano buttons, those are hard to find even on the full arcade version. Like I have a Play Choice that has all these, the volcano buttons at the top. They're actually really expensive. And it's even hard to find like clones of the volcano. So I'm wondering if Arcade1up is building these brand new, what supplier they're using, because I would love to get those. I have a Play Choice that has them all missing, and it would be cool to have the originals. But if there were some clones out there, I would still probably get it, because you're just trying to get the cabinet back into working condition, and you don't want to spend so much money on all those volcano buttons. But as a good lineup of games, if you, don't have that one, I think it'll be interesting. So we got the results on that. It's 82% are saying no on that. Before we get to the next cabinet, we'll talk about Killer Instinct. I want to take a quick pause real quick, and we'll listen to a voicemail. Again, I want to hear from different people. Here we go.
Hey, Justin, Alan, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Mm-hmm.
Your information on the Arcade1up Pro Series, what they're passing off, that Pro Series, in my opinion, needs to be what the Legacy Series is.
This is interesting.
At the same price point. Get rid of the 10 sign, get rid of the mat.
All right, so what Alan is talking about is he's saying that, we got this Pro Series, but... why is it included all of these different things? Get rid of the 10, get rid of the anti-fatigue mat, get rid of the seat, get rid of all of this stuff so that price could be lower into that Legacy line. In his eyes, Pro version is not Pro yet. This is still not, is there a word above Pro? Because this is still, like McDonald's, you got your small, medium, and large. And it's like, you got the small, and from his point of view, this is still just a medium. Check it out, what he's saying.
Get rid of the stool if you want to. And if they really want to make a Pro Series, take what they have, and then update the height 72 inches.
72 inches!
25-inch screen, and give me a 30-inch wide control deck.
He's saying, go all in. If you're gonna go Pro, go all in from Alan. He's like, give me 30 inches wide, 25-inch screen, 72 inches tall. If you're going to do it like, and I'm wondering, he's saying like probably not as deep, but actual arcade height. That's interesting.
Also, since Arcade1up is pushing online full go, for those of us who already own full-size cabinets and or multi-caves, let us buy the PCBs direct from Arcade1up and or online gameplay.
Imagine that. So, he's saying that Alan already has some full-size cabinets, but he would like to buy the PCB from Arcade1up and actually put it in. It's kind of like this hybrid cabinet. Like, imagine you had a Street Fighter. You had a real Street Fighter cabinet, but then you buy just the PCB from Arcade1up, right? And then you get that wired up. Then you can play those 12 games on a Street Fighter, on your 4x3, on a CRT, right? Like, let's say you have that, cabinet, but it doesn't have the PCB in it. but you get the Arcade 1-Up one instead. That's interesting.
Interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts. I definitely think that, thanks for calling in, Alan. That was really cool. I really appreciate all your thoughts on it. And you give me a really good perspective, right? This perspective idea that Pro is good. It's a good step forward, but it's just not good enough for Alan. And I definitely respect your opinion. I definitely think that, this is your opinion, right? So this is what you would prefer. And I think that this is interesting because Alan clearly has home arcade products and full-size cabinets. So it's good to hear that perspective, in this space, right? But what do you guys think in the chat, in the live chat? What do you think about what Alan is talking about? Does Arcade 1-Up need to sell these PCBs separately? How would they do that? That could be kind of difficult for them to do because, the entire license. I guess they would sell the replacement ones. They would charge $100 for the replacement. But I wonder if that's why we're not seeing some of those accessories sold separately online, is because there would be, a big set of people that would essentially buy the Arcade 1-Up PCB replacement parts just so, they could, yeah, your average gamer saying it would kill their business. And I have to agree. I think that's a complicated one. Twisted is saying that a 25-inch screen would actually be too big. Let's see. Big D Retro is saying, I agree with some of the good comments, especially the PCG purchase. Papa Brad says they will never sell PCBs. I have a feeling they would, they're probably not going to make them available, on their site. But I'm hearing, and we have a call tonight about that, where people, are asking for replacement parts, and they're able to get them from their customer service. You just can't get the replacement parts a la carte, like on their store. And I think they did that on purpose. So if you need a replacement part, definitely call Arcade 1-Up and put in a ticket, because it sounds like you would eventually get it depending on, availability. But them having them online is probably just not happening. Thanks for the comments, and we'll go on to our next caller here.
Hey, Justin. My name's Dan. I've been watching you for a little over a year, you and Retro Ralph. Just wanted to say, related to the new cabs, I think the Midway Mortal Kombat one is definitely better than the current Legacy cabinet. I have the current Legacy, and it looks like on the new one, at least from the renders, that the control deck sticks out of the sides like the original Midway cabinets. I actually have an original MK4 cabinet, and it looks very close to the way the control deck.
Wait a second. What we're learning from Dan here is that he owns an original MK4, and he used that as a reference to compare to the Mortal Kombat Legacy. But he also owns a Mortal Kombat Legacy from Arcade 1-Up. So here's an interesting thing. Like, I have a mixture of full-size cabinets, and I have a mixture, I guess I'm in the same spot when it comes to, I own a Pac-Man, a real cabaret Pac-Man from Midway, but I also own the Arcade 1-Up Pac-Man. So I guess it's similar, but MK4, and then this is an interesting topic because especially good call-in, because here's a person that owns so many Mortal Kombats. This guy might know more about Mortal Kombat than Zohar. Let's continue to listen.
That sticks out there. I did just get the Tempest deal, but I do like the Centipede better, but because of the deal, I'm not going to spend more money and go grab that. Thanks. Love your content. I have a small channel, Sonic GT73. If anybody wants to help me reach that 1,000 subscribers, subscribe to me. Thank you very much. Love your content.
Yeah, so shout out. I'm going to shout you out because that was such a good call-in. So Sonic GT73. Sonic GT 73. Let's see. You got to check out his YouTube. I like this guy already. Coming from a place of, own some Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna find your channel here, and I think this is your guy. This is Sonic GT 73. So check him out if you're interested in his opinion. I'm definitely interested in his opinion. I'm gonna hit that subscribe button so I get notified when he expresses his opinions on different topics. I'm gonna make sure this is the right guy. Sonic G, probably right, probably is, I assume. All right, so we're gonna look at the chat. So, what do you guys think of this thought? We're looking at the Mortal Kombat and the Mortal Kombat cabinet. You know, this idea that, boy, there's a lot of different thoughts out here. Like, we got the Mortal Kombat Legacy, and it's definitely better because of the wider control panel. Okay, so I'm going to put the poll out there for MK. You know, are you getting the new MK? So we'll see what that new poll is. Are you getting the new MK? And while we're doing that, we got a super chat from Akuma Rev. He says, console kits. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can pull this up. Console kits. He says, console kits, you are a beast. Very much respect your take on this, my man. Also, any updates on adding MVC and X-Men cabs to an amazing website tracker for Mortal Kombat Day 1, my man. Cannot wait to see Zohar go Debo on John D. Blood match. So yeah, I'm gonna add that soon, brother. I will. So let's take a look at that real quick for those of you that don't know. I've been working on this deals. It's still like in progress, but I'm definitely making updates to it. Some people were complaining that it wasn't working on mobile. I got that figured out. It was because we weren't putting in HTTPS, but I got the redirect in place. So even if you don't put in HTTPS, I think I did a search instead, but it'll redirect. It'll redirect for you. So now it's displaying everything, and look at how many. I just keep on adding. Every single time I add more links to this, this means that I have captured that link for that cabinet, that website, and then it's going to keep on fetching for it. So the list is getting so long, I'm going to have to do it like I did on the other version of the site. This is written from the ground up. I did this home arcade website before. The only thing I borrowed from the last thing is the logo and the styles. Completely different framework, completely different system. So there's a lot of interesting things on here. Like, I'm trying to avoid people from hacking me. So like all of these are images. Like you can't go and scrub my site to figure out what the prices are. To build your own site and try to collect information on it. So there's a little bit of extra work that I did on that because it's gonna when they try to scrub me, it's gonna cost me money every single hit, right? So anyway, you come to this website, try to find deals. I'm gonna add X-Men to this very soon. See if you can find deals on it. And it's found a few deals. I'm still working on notifications. There's a lot of work that I got to do before I can get that in place. But I'll put a bot together that you can go follow on Twitter, and then it'll bot tweet every single time it finds a price that lowers. But until then, just come to the site and see if you keep on getting a lower price. But thanks for the shout out and talking about that, bringing that up, Kumarev. So yeah, Mortal Kombat. Let's see. We're gonna end the poll here and see where the results are. We got 48% are saying yes, they're gonna pick up the Mortal Kombat. Now, for those that are picking up the Mortal Kombat, I'd love to hear why. So in the comments, could you type in MK at the very beginning of your comment so I know you're talking about Mortal Kombat, and then I can highlight those in the chat. Until then, we got Vitamin Paul says, can we get a 2022 Pro Series roadmap, please? That would be really good from Arcade1up. I think what Arcade1up is going to do, like in that Pro line, like this Killer Instinct, we understand there's Killer Instinct is coming out, and it's kind of been leaked that Golden Tee is going to be another Pro Series, but it's not official. It was an accidental retailer leak out of the UK, and so we don't really know if Golden Tee. You probably bet it will be true because all the data's there and all the pictures and the renders and the video. There's so much to kind of support that Golden Tee is going to be out there. So that would leave 2 more Pro Series to come out this year. And I got some really good comments from different people about, what's going to come next on the Pro Series, what they want. They were so good, I decided to put out another stream tonight. So after this stream, there's going to be another one that's just talking about what Pro Series cabinets we need to see in the future. And I brought in a couple of guests so that we can talk about that. So after this show, stick around, grab some popcorn if you're here live. because it's going to be a long night. We're going to do an hour here, and we're going to do an hour on the next show with a couple guests. So let's get your thoughts on Mortal Kombat here in the chat. So we got Mortal Kombat. We got a lot of MK comments coming in, so I'm going to try my best to cover them. Sonic GT73. Yeah, that was the guy I just highlighted. So, and we did a voicemail on him. He says, another big thing I really like about the new MK cab is it has MK3. I like that better than Ultimate MK3. It wasn't as balanced as the characters, but just like it more. So that's really cool. I'm glad you're happy. So Wi-Fi is a good reason why Mortal Kombat from Your Average Gamer. I think Zohar is going to bleed the way perhaps, in the fighting scene. Maybe Akuma Rev is going to help him out with that. Put your quarters on the glass. But I really want to see Zohar on MK. I've seen a little bit of his gameplay, and it looks pretty good, but I've not really watched a lot of professional MK. Maybe he's just button mashing for all I know, but I look forward to seeing that scene grow. So Harold Miller is online pay, and the cabinet art for me. Let's see. Yeah, MK due to the online. MK is a strong maybe for me from Nate U2 or UT. Sorry. Console fanboy with Mortal Kombat because it's my life. Mortal Kombat's because of the online multiplayer Rampage. That's really cool because I'm guessing they're going to do that because this is a Legacy Online, which is really cool because the Legacy has 14 games on it, and it says switch up to any included game at will with the ease of navigation screen. Oh, in addition to the Wi-Fi live play, see how your scores measure up with online Wi-Fi leaderboards. So that's cool, but is it very specific? It doesn't specifically say that, like, has anyone heard confirmation from Arcade1up in any way that you will actually be able to do Rampage, 3 players online? Like, is that gonna happen? Because that's cool. That's really cool. And maybe that influences the game lineup. Although I can't really imagine doing online game with Klax. And also, isn't it Wizard of War, not Wizard of Waz? That's an interesting, if that's a typo. Maybe there's a game that maybe they had to rename it or something like that. Is it actually Wizard of War, but they specifically renamed it? Or is that a typo? I got to understand that. All right, so again, we got this MK1. Let's watch the video while we're talking here. Get that volume down here. All right, so hold on. Okay, so there we go. The Mortal Kombat, put your quarters on the glass. That's why. MK1 was my favorite game and the first game I ever played. Love the cabinet as well. Constorm says, I want to get it just the finality factor of the near complete design. I was thinking about that with the lack of Johnny Cage in it, and I was looking at the artwork. You could almost get a sticker. Like, imagine if, like Arcade Graphics or one of the companies out there built like a sticker that just adds Daniel Pacina on there. And the only problem with that is his foot goes behind the dragon. And so I don't really know how you would make that look good, or just say, forget it. If someone has access to that actual artwork, that layer with Johnny Cage's like foot, or they could recreate it, just have his foot on the outside. But, or do you just reskin it? I'm curious what the right solution for that is. I was just, thinking, like, I wonder if that could be an easy way to add Daniel Pacina, is to literally add it. So MK because of the Wi-Fi, MK so I can watch Zohar. Oh, there we go. See Zohar. There's a lot of this is Zohar's cabinet for sure. Let's see, MK online, and it looks better. MK has the greatest game list except Paperboy, and I can let Console Fanboy beat me senseless. MK is a buy. It will be fun. MK, I'm picking it because I want to beat Zohar in MK, and I love the authentic form factor, and it has original MK3. Now, here's the deal. I'm gonna put it out there right now. Zohar is not gonna buy this Mortal Kombat. He will not buy this. I won't let him buy it. Do you know why? One of two things are gonna happen. And Zohar, I hope you're listening right now. Either Arcade1up is going to send you this cabinet for review. The moment I hear that's not going to happen, don't worry. I'm buying this cabinet for Zohar. All those super chats during 1UP Weekly will completely cover me buying Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary Edition so Zohar can play online. So you have my guarantee that if you want this cabinet out there and you want to buy this cabinet so you can beat Zohar, Zohar will be on this game. Again, because if they don't give it to him, I will pay out of my own cash to Zohar. It's probably like his money. Remember all those jokes all those years? They were like, Zohar could have bought his own Mortal Kombat by now. Well, he did. He literally bought his own cabinet. Just, long time ago. Years in the making. Okay, so Bob is saying we'll have the pro version, but I can't wait and can't afford. I am like a child. I waited for 30-year anniversary, and I won't wait any longer. I need MK Online. Okay, so a lot of people are loving the MK on that. Zohar's like, no. Oh, it's happening, Zohar. I already have your address. The moment it goes online, again, if John D. and David McIntosh don't come through for you, I will, okay? And I'm going to talk to them and be like, I need to know, because once the pre-orders are out, I'm pre-ordering it, and I'm putting in Zohar's address, and it's going to go to Zohar. I'm going to try to do it as early as possible so he can do a review on it. That would be really cool, because I want to know his opinion on it. And I've been wondering how I can pay back Zohar for all those super chats, and I finally figured out how, and this is going to be it. So let's talk about, okay, we won't spend too much time talking about this Pac-Man. I do have a few thoughts on this, but I'm going to ask, are you getting... Let's see. Are you getting the new Pac-Man? I'm going to put that in the chat. There you go. Are you getting the new Pac-Man? I want to hear it. Look down below. You're going to see the votes. So check out the voting system and make your vote. Come on. Let's do the votes. Give me a yes or no. I try to get as many votes in there as possible so that we can get a really good average in here. But one thing I do like about this, I'm not really into the Pac-Mania art, but that custom look, that definitely the custom size cabinet. I don't know why. Maybe you guys could help me out, but why does this cabinet look like a race car cabinet to me? Like, I don't know why. I look at it and I'm like, that should have a race car game on it. Is it because there's some, in my memory, there's some race car games that look like that? It just looks like it should be a race car game. Or what am I seeing in this? Is it the artwork? It's the shape right here. It just, like, for some reason says to me, like, it should be a race car game. I don't know why. Because it's a white cabinet? Is that all it is? Yeah. Maybe because it's a white cabinet? The red outline, probably? Is that what it is? But that what's interesting, it doesn't look tacky to me, like this looks like a race car cabinet to me. What I look at and say, yeah, pole position, is that what it is? Is pole position a white cabinet? Because I remember playing pole position. That was probably one of the first games I ever played. I think I was like 5 years old. I lived in Dallas, Texas, 4 or 5 years old, and I like ran away from home. And when I ran away from home, I went to putt-putt golf. And then I tried to play. I was like, went there, and I couldn't figure out why the game wouldn't let me play. And it's because I think when I was that young, when I went to putt-putt golf, my dad put quarters in for me, and I didn't know that, like, they took money or something like that. So I went there, and I'm like, oh, I can't play, and I don't have any quarters. I don't know what that's like. Yeah, and then my parents never found me, and that's the end of that story. Anyway, so super chat from Goofyfoot. He says, what does he say? He says, at this point, 1UP is Bubba from Forrest Gump telling me how many ways he can prepare these titles. That's hilarious, Goofyfoot. That is really, really funny. It's Bubba. Okay, so we're going to close the vote now and the poll. Where did we land on it? I saw 89% were saying no, which is really weird because I don't think it'll be the highest selling cabinet because out of all of the cabinets that are out there, I do believe the Pac-Man sell the most when you look at that cabinet, right? But it doesn't sell more than all of the other cabinets combined. So when they sold their first million, I believe a good percentage of them were Pac-Man, but it wasn't like 70% of their sales is Pac-Man. It's something like 30% of their sales is Pac-Man, which is saying a lot for a single cabinet, but it's the other 70% or the other cabinets combined, you know. I don't know if that number's accurate anymore, but I think at one point it was. At least at some point it was. Yeah, if you're going to run away, putt-putt is the way to go. Okay, so let's talk about the Killer Instinct, okay? And I want to hear from you because this is the only cabinet out of the bunch where there's a pre-order out, right? There's an actual pre-order that exists on a non-pro line, but now everyone knows there's a pro version that's coming. Also, just notice, do you see the top? It's flat. That's really cool. I don't see any stickers on there, so is this going to happen? Wow. I just noticed that. I just know all of the Arcade1up cabinets. Is that what they're trying to show us on that? I just thought they were trying to show us, like, how cool the control panel is. But that's like I mean, it's not completely flat. It's got an angle, but that's probably like a piece of wood like Tron. Like Tron had that top part to it. Anyway, okay. How many people canceled? Let's see. Did you cancel KI so you could order the Pro? Now, do me a favor. Do not answer this question if you didn't order the original, okay? We'll do another poll in a second. But I only want to know from the people that pre-ordered Killer Instinct, the original version. And the poll is out. Did you cancel your pre-order because you're going to get the Pro? Yes or no on that. But I only want to hear from people that actually ordered the Pro line, all right? And then in the chat, I'd love to hear, start your comments with KI, so I know the topic is that. So give me your thoughts on the KI Pro Series and what you like about it, what you dislike about it, and I'd like to share it with the audience here. But until we do that, let me play another voicemail because we have a few more to go, and these are really good.
Hey, Console Kids, it's your buddy,
CT Jason!
In my opinion on the CES announcements, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
I care less about a Centipede cab. I don't need it. I don't want it. I could care less about a Pac-Man Mania cab. If they drop it down on sale, I get it. But I don't need that. What
he doesn't need it.
Is that MK cab and that Pro Line chaos.
He wants
you know what I'm saying? Some people might be upset about that pre-order. And I am so glad I did not pre-order that cab.
He did not pre-order.
Believe I'm not going to pre-order the Pro Line. But I'm going to buy it. I'm going to wait till it comes out, watch some reviews, and make my decision there. Just say no to pre-orders.
Say no to pre-orders.
You'll learn your lesson. All right, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.
All right. If you don't know, CT Jason is a YouTuber, and he's growing greatly. He's doing a lot of reviews on Arcade1up, and his content is hilarious. It is not a comedy channel, but I love the way he delivers it. He delivers it in a very unique way, and you got to check him out. But anyway, he's saying he's glad he did not order. I'm gonna have to translate it for you guys that don't understand how his voice. But anyway, he did not order the Killer Instinct original, and he's glad he didn't because he's looking for the pre-order. He's looking for the Killer Instinct Pro version, but he's not going to pre-order the Killer Instinct Pro series because he's waiting for other people to do a review on it and then check it out, because that is an interesting thing with the KI coming out. That'll be the very, very first Pro line. We don't know if it's going to have quality issues. We don't really know. So, and there's other voicemails that we're going to play tonight that are specifically related to concerns about quality, and I think everyone should be aware and think of that as well, right? All right, Hollywood Polo, that's cool. We got a couple more voicemails coming in, and I really appreciate all of that. So KI, let's see if we got anyone in the chat that started out with KI. We go, KI, why can't they just make the Pro line wider instead of having those little side panels? The little side panels. Let's see. So you're saying he wants the whole Pro series to be wider. Okay. Clack says, KI, both the Pro and the regular are a pass for me. The only game that interests me is the Battletoads arcade, and I'd rather have a 3-player version than a 2. So we're going to end the poll that we have out here. And the poll, let's see, what did I say on the poll? It's going to come up in just a second. We'll look at those stats. And so, let's see, what CT Jason wants is the MK Pro line. Let's see. So did you cancel the KI so you could order? There's 35 people that voted, and I asked them only to vote if they actually pre-ordered the original KI. And 65% of them said no, they did not cancel their pre-order, but 34 of them did cancel their pre-order. You know, it's a small group. It's only 35 people that did the vote, so it's hard to say, you know, if that represents the larger audience. I'm going to ask another question. Are you planning on getting anything pro this year? Let's do that poll. And will it let me add another one? I don't know how to do it. Let's just send it. Are you planning on getting anything pro this year? So anyone can vote on this one. Anyone can vote on, are you planning on getting anything pro this year? And so what else we got in the chat? Let's play another voicemail here. What?
Yeah, I'm trying to reach Zoltar, a cornhole fanboy. He never paid his ride share fee. If you see him,
what?
Tell him to call me.
He's
got my number.
That sounds like Stringer Films. I think that's Stringer Films. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, we got Peter Griffin. It says it's Peter Griffin Electric Trump in the voice to text. Okay, let's hear what Peter has to say. It's a long one. It's a really good voicemail from Peter Griffin. Let's check it out.
Hey, Justin, it's Peter Griffin, elected Trump. Hey, my friend, a long-time watcher, man.
Yeah.
Your show for years, buddy. Hey, so a couple things. So I'm very excited about the Pro line.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to strictly not buy any more cabinets. I'm going to just
no
wait it
more
out year after year.
Wow.
Only buy Pro lines from here on out.
Do you hear that? So Peter Griffin, you've probably seen him in the chat for a long time, right? He's been part of our shows, One Up Weekly, and before that for a long time. He's like, Pro line, that's it. I'm not going to buy any more 3/4. It's only Pro line for me. Let's listen.
My only concern is I pre-ordered the Terminator 2 cab, and I'm going to feel really, really like a sucker if they end up like 6 months from now they show a Pro cab of my Terminator 2. But other than that, man, I'm good, man. You know, also want to give a shout out to Arcade1up.
Yep.
Fantastic customer service. Guess what, guys? My Burger Time PCB blew up. It stopped working. It was one of my favorite cabs, play it all the time. And guess what? It's a couple years old, right? I got it back in the beginning of 2021, or no, 2020, right? Yeah, when COVID first started.
Yep.
Anyways, to my shock and awe, Arcade1up is sending me a new PCB computer for my Burger Time. Also, ribbon cables and new power cord, everything for absolutely free. They didn't ask me for a dime, no debit card, no nothing.
That's great.
Absolutely free. I emailed them, put a ticket in. They responded back, asked me to do this, do that, send them a video of what the serial numbers and all that kind of stuff. And then bam, they sent me an email back saying, you know, we appreciate you as a customer, blah, blah, blah. We're sending you a new PCB, ribbon cables, power cord, everything absolutely free. Didn't ask me a dime, and it's supposed to be here just in a day or two. Awesome. Anyways, love you guys. Love you, Justin. Bye.
Love you too, man. Here's the thing, dude. Did you guys put it all together? The reason why he's so excited, the reason why Peter Griffin is so excited, I think it's because he's going to sell all his 3/4 scale cabinets. He's only going Pro line, so this means he had a problem with the Burger Time PCB, and now Arcade1up is going to fix it, right? And so now he can get a fixed Burger Time. Now, I'm really curious. You'll have to tell us, Peter Griffin, if you're in the chat, or message me, comment on some video of this video. Are you planning on selling your Burger Time? And, you know, is that another cabinet that you would want to get if it came out in a Pro version? We'll be talking more about that on our second show tonight. Right after this show, we're going live with a couple guests, and we're going to talk all about what Pro Series cabinets that you want to see in the future. That is a different topic for tonight. So this is the lineup of all the CES 2022, and we're going to hear from another voicemail. There's a lot of great voicemails that came in tonight. A lot of people have a lot of passion. I want to hear that passion. Let's hear it.
Hey, Console Kits. This is Steve V calling. This is my second time calling into the show.
What's up, Stevie?
Big fan of the show.
Yep.
So as far as the CES announcement, I did like them, though it did kind of suck that we didn't see anything new. I like the fact that everything's coming out with better form factors, Wi-Fi. I like that they're doing a Pro line, even though I won't be buying any of the Pro line.
All right, so this is unscreened. So everything up to this point I pre-screened, but everything, there's a handful more that I have not pre-listened to. And I've heard this comment from people in the chat. And I want to keep on illustrating because I get a lot of comments, a lot of different varieties, and I appreciate that variety. A lot of people come from way different places. They have a different set of space. They have a different set of money or how much they're willing to put towards hobbies. A lot of people put a lot more money to hobbies, and some people put a lot less. And so we get a variety of outcome. Plus, where do you live? I live in Iowa, so in Iowa, I can pick up original cabs, and I do own many of them, but it's only certain types of cabinets, and a lot of them need work, and some of them you can get in good condition. Let's continue, though.
I already feel like the prices are getting a little too high with the 3/4 scale machines.
Mm-hmm.
I live here in Canada, so it's always a little bit more than what you guys pay in the States. So I'll be just sticking with the 3/4 scale machines, and I do feel like they're making them better with, like I was saying, better form factors, Wi-Fi. So even though the Pro line will have better sticks, better buttons, a bigger screen, I'm okay with what's going on with the 3/4 scale machines.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a little bit cheaper. As far as the ones that I'm interested in regarding what they announced, Centipedes,
okay.
My only one that I'm kind of interested in. I really like all the games on that cabinet, and I did not buy the Tempest one.
There you go.
So the Centipede one will be probably one that will end up in my man cave arcade.
Yep.
I also have a little bit of interest for the Mortal Kombat one as well.
Oh, really?
The only problem with that is I've bought Mortal Kombat 3 times.
See? This happens.
Once every year.
Whoa.
I've updated my Mortal Kombat machine. So it's really hard to do it a fourth time.
That's tough,
but
man.
I do really like the form factor. I love the art, even though Master Pacino's missing on the side there, but it still looks fantastic. As far as the Wi-Fi is concerned on that machine, I do really like that they put Wi-Fi, and there's the ability to play with people and fight against people, but I always get my butt kicked, so that wouldn't be my main reason for getting that cabinet.
Right.
That form factor. I love that form factor.
The form factor is nice.
Thanks for doing the show, and look forward to watching it today.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think a lot of people have been saying that they agree with him on that. The form factor is so great, even if and maybe this was a and maybe this was a thing that was you know, that they did it on purpose. You know, they did not do Mortal Kombat Pro Series because they wanted to show people that they will do a nice looking form factor even on that Legacy series. You know, we're gonna get a Legacy series that has the molded coin door. You're gonna get, you're gonna get the slanted control panel, the widened control panel, 17-inch, but it looks a lot like, and it's that 30th anniversary, so a lot of people have been asking for that MK1 look, but they weren't able to do the Daniel Pacina. We got more. We got a couple super chats we gotta run through, and we got a couple more voicemails to do. So this one is from Zohar himself. Let's see. I'm gonna try to read it the way Zohar would read it, and he says, Justin. I see and feel all the love in the chat. I am overwhelmed. I get mad easy, but I cry pretty easy too. I appreciate the support, everyone. No need for anything. The love in the chat is beyond enough already. See, this is what's interesting about Zohar. I've got to know him. He's a great person, and he, some people complain about him for the different reasons, but he has a strong emotional heart, and I like sharing my, that part of my life with him here in this hobby with home arcade. And so hopefully we'll hear more from him tonight. And I think this is Zohar's year. He's finally getting, even though he already got a Bobby Vu cabinet that basically looks like this, now he'll be able to play with his friends online, this community that he helped build, really. Like from the start, he was part of the community. He helped build this group, the different groups that are out there. Especially, he was a big inspiration for me, someone who we highlighted in the chat mainly because he had a lot of diverse thoughts and he became kind of popular in the chat. And so for him to finally get Arcade1up to listen, and I remember in 2020, he was the one saying, why don't they do this, and that? And this is the year they finally did it. They didn't, like, I want hap controls. I want basically this 30th edition is the Zohar cabinet. It's the Zohar cabinet. It is. It's what he asked originally in CES 2020 in the live chat. This is the cab he wanted, and they finally did it. Let's see. We got another super chat we're going to hit, and then let's see. Are you planning on getting any Pro this year? This is the poll. 50-50. It's 50%. I mean, I think that's actually a really good number for there to be people saying that they 50% are like, yeah, I'm going to get a Pro and 50% not. Like for a brand new product at the price of $1,000 for 50% of the people that took the vote at least are saying they want to do it. That's really cool. Twisted Gaming TV. He says, console fanboy lost it over Think Gaming on Street Fighter Turbo. Just wanted to let everyone know that didn't. LMAO. Just wanted to let everyone know that didn't. What does it mean? Console fanboy lost to Overthink Gaming on Street Fighter Turbo. Okay. Yes, he did. He did lose to Overthink Gaming, but if you listen really close to Overthink Gaming, what humility that man has. I was really surprised at his response. He wasn't like he was the winner, but he acknowledged Zohar, saying that, yeah, Zohar did a great job at competition. The only reason Jason won is he found something that Zohar couldn't get past. And he just kept on playing it. He kept on doing that move that Zohar just couldn't get past. And then Jason won that fight on Put Your Quarters on the Glass. That was a very enjoyable match. So we got How to Bachelor with Super Chat saying 10-3. All right, so next voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, Justin, it's Zohar. So how did Arcade1up do? Gee, let me think. I think they killed it. They absolutely murdered it. They destroyed their whatever competition they had. It's over. That Arcade1up, that MK30th, you already know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
That control panel is next level. They made it wider.
Look at that.
They have that authentic artwork, like they said, right on it. I appreciated how they took the time to tilt the screen, to tilt the control panel, make it wider, like I said.
Look.
Yeah. It's just beautiful. Thank God it doesn't have those wings. They actually listened to the community, and they didn't incorporate those wings like they did on the other Legacy.
Yep.
This Legacy 2.0.
Look at it.
It's good.
Look
it's
at
perfect, actually. It's exactly
no
what
wings.
It should have been in the first place, and I like how they went back, listened,
they did
like
great.
I said, to the community, and they made it right. And I cannot wait to kick some ass when this game comes out online. I think everyone's going to be very surprised.
Wow.
Anyway, have a good show. Long live 1UP and MK forever, baby.
All right, let's jump to the next super chat.
Hello,
not
Justin
super chat. I'm sorry.
Console Kits. This
Voicemail.
Is from Constorm. I've been a caller for a little bit now.
Yep.
This is my second time doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the matter of how CES did this year, as far as Arcade1up is concerned, I suppose it's all right, but they certainly had a much more dialed back reveal set than last year by a wide margin.
Yeah.
We at least had 3 to 4 new cabinets announced last year, along with the Legacy editions.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. If you compare year over year, this first CES announcement, this with these 4 cabinets, the more exciting releases were previously, and I think it's mainly because we got new titles last time, and then the kind of we first heard about the Legacy Edition. Absolutely, Constorm, that's accurate.
And the Pong table.
Yep.
So to see this year is a little disappointing, but it is certainly surprising to have been right about Centipede. Of course,
Yep.
The online Mortal Kombat came completely out of nowhere.
Yep.
And to be perfectly honest, it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was planning at some point to reskin my old Midway Legacy to Mortal Kombat 1 just so it could better match the J panel. But I decided once that happened, it's just going to be easier to sell it. And I did. But for now, anyways, we're literally just going to have to hope that Arcade1up's big announcements are going to come out throughout the rest of the year. In the meantime, there's still a lot more that needs to happen. Who knows, maybe the unthinkable will happen, and we'll get an NFL Blitz announcement by E3, which is in June, I believe. Regardless, thanks for your time, and farewell.
Yeah, I definitely believe, thanks Constorm for calling in. We got 2 more voicemails that we'll do tonight. I do think you're right. I do think we're going to see NFL Blitz this year. They've teased it so much, and some people have speculated that we'll actually see an NFL Blitz even next month, and they held back NFL Blitz because they wanted to time it with Super Bowl. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think that makes sense, and especially they have that partnership with the football stadium down in Florida. Maybe they're trying to get a sample version of NFL Blitz there early, so they can show it off there and debut it. Maybe they'll do a special event for it because I think that cabinet. But I still have a lot of questions when it comes to the Pro Series, and I want to remind everyone after this show, in about 10 minutes, we're going to be going over to a second show where we got a couple guests, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Pro Series and kind of talk about what cabinets they need to come out with in the next couple years that are Pro Series, Pro Series that we need. So we definitely got to talk about that. But let's check out our next voicemail.
Hey, Justin, it's Andrew from Ohio again.
Hey.
I'm talking about Dragon Slayer. I mentioned in your first video you had earlier on today about the Pro Series that, doing the alphabetical screen and the 19-inch and the upgraded buttons, they got to go that way with Dragon Slayer to make it actually perfect.
So Andrew, he commented on my video today, and in fact, it was your comment that gave me the idea to make an entirely separate show, 2 topics, this topic we're doing now, and a second one that's just talking about what we need as a pro line. And his thoughts are, why not Dragon's Lair as a pro line? We'll talk about it more in the next show, but that is a really interesting idea to get. I didn't think of it. I did not think this would be a pro line, but he has some good points about it.
So the community demands quality, and this is the way to show that Dragon's Lair, instead of basically having it as a 3/4 scale, have it as basically the 72 inches or the standard size it is now, what you were discussing earlier on your show, is the way to go for Dragon's Lair. Because basically for the premium price, especially with the Alpha Mech screen and the redesign, I would probably say the community would want that instead. So I enjoy your show, and shout out to everybody who basically watches and enjoys it, and thanks for doing what you're doing. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, will Dragon's Lair be a pro line, right? And is that what people want? So I don't know. That's a tough one because even as a 3/4, I think they were originally planning on pricing it at like $500 back in 2020 when they first started talking about it. And they said they would probably only make about 3,000 of them, and maybe it wouldn't be a very profitable line. For them to jump to a pro line, could they still sell a lot? I don't know. Maybe they could, but it's only going to have 3 games. And I'm looking forward to the pro lines that have about 12, maybe even 14 games on it, and because I suspect that they will do cabinets kind of like the Big Blue that have that big lineup. And I think that's a good number, under 20. I mean, even if they did a Pac-Man, we'll talk about that more later, but I would love to see a Pac-Man, but I would want it to have like 20 games or something like that. And we got a super chat, and it says, Pro Series sit-down racing cab or Pro Line. There we go. Enviro cabs. That's what we need from Real Solution 9. We got one more. We got one more from Hollywood Polo. And let's see what he has to say in his voicemail.
Hey, Justin, this is Mark at Hollywood Polo. You've known me for a couple of years now.
Yep.
I have an interesting recurring hardware issue with my arcade. So I have it all hooked up, but there's no sound at all within the menus or within the game.
Oh.
Only if you plug your headphones in. So I contacted their support.
Yeah.
They sent me a new amp. Just got it yesterday. Just installed the amp today. Everything is correct. Then I power it on. It's the same issue.
Whoa.
It's a great cabinet, but it blows my mind that how's this issue still not fixed? What do you think I should do next? And what are your thoughts on it? Love to be on a show and talk with you about it. Just give me a call or email me hugpolo@yahoo.com.
All right.
Thanks, Justin.
I'll check that out. So my thought is, I mean, if you have an amp that went out, right, and then you bought another amp and it went out as well, then there's an electrical problem that's probably causing the amp to go out. That's probably what's happening. And I didn't forget everybody.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Brian Stratton here, your host, How to Bachelor. And as for how did Arcade1up do in CES, I kind of say, I mean, they weren't really there. I mean, didn't they just do an announcement on their site or through some other source, and it just happened to be during CES? I'll say one thing, pretty cool that they got the Pro Series going. However,
So he makes a point. I'm going to stop him right there because it's true. Like, we're talking about this being a CES event. They weren't really at CES. And it's just because everyone associates this time of the year with CES, and all of us YouTubers are like, what else are we going to call it? This is like the CES Arcade1up event. And I guess CES can sue us or something like that. What can you do? Anyway.
The KI was first one. I don't know why they didn't do Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, or say screw rehashing stuff 20 times over. Why not just do a Sega Star Wars trilogy 1998 type thing, or start moving on like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say modern because it's all retro, but later 90s, early 2000s, instead of just rebranding the same stuff over, just like with the legacy cabs, three cabinets, added some Wi-Fi, add some online for the MK, but it's still the same Pac-Man stuff, still the same Atari stuff, just with 2 games. So it's kind of meh for people getting into it just now, just like how I just got into it.
That's true.
Great. But,
true.
Man, this is too long. I'm going to hop off. Don't like, subscribe.
All right. Thanks, Brian. No, he makes a good point. I mean, obviously, if and when Arcade1up ever announces a Pro Line version of Star Wars, and it's like a Sega or Star Wars Trilogy 1998, it's going to be a must-buy for a ton of people. Like, you're making me salivate right now even thinking about it, Brian. Like absolutely. And I think that's probably going to be... And I kind of remember this reoccurring thing where E3 was always their big announcements, and CES was not as much. Even though we got Legacy last year, that was really a rehash, right? So CES is typically their rehash, and then... remember Star Wars Original, the Atari Star Wars, and that was unveiled where? At E3. So I think E3 is always there. And then some of their big lineups they did previously, even last year, was the Summer of Gaming, which is that E3 time frame. So it's not out of character for Arcade1up to say, okay, these are the cabinets that we've been working on that really are a rehash. But they did reintroduce KI as the Pro Line to show we're going to start doing Pro Lines, and then get out there that, they're going to do a couple of them. Anyway, so thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out on the show. We're going to end it here. Thank you for all the voicemails. This was a very entertaining for me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And we're going to do another show in just a little bit. I'm going to hit stop. It should take you into that stream. Just wait for a few minutes, and we're going to go live in just a minute or so. And we'll see you guys in the next video, which is just a minute from now. All right, see you guys.